Welcome, future financial experts. Today we are diving into the lifeblood of every business. And this happens to be banking and cash flow management. Lesson 2 under Module 3, which is on managing financial transactions. This is important because without mastering this, even the most profitable companies can run into trouble. But don't worry, after this lesson, you will be equipped with the skills to ensure your business never runs out of cash and always stays on top of its financial health. This is a lesson you will carry with you for life. So the lesson overview, today we will cover 2 critical aspects of financial management in Sage 50. The first, which is reconciling bank accounts, making sure your records match your bank's records. And secondly, managing cash flow and bank transactions. And by that, I mean tracking cash inflow and outflow to keep your business running smoothly. And by the end of this lesson, you will not only understand the importance of these tasks, but will also be able to confidently execute them in Sage 50. So before we get started, let's look at what we have on part 1. All right. So part 1 talks about reconciling bank accounts. Now, what is bank reconciliation? Because when we talk about reconciling bank accounts, it's basically bank reconciliation. So what is bank reconciliation? Bank reconciliation is the process of comparing your internal financial records with the statements from your actual bank. What I mean by your internal financial records is your business bank account in Sage 50. So you compare it with the statements from your actual bank. And this ensures everything matches, no discrepancies, no errors. Why is this important? It is important because it helps identify errors, fraud, or unrecorded transactions. Another reason why bank reconciliation is important is because it ensures your cash flow figures are accurate. Another reason why bank reconciliation is important here in Sage 50 is because it prevents issues with your cash flow and helps track where your money goes. So what are those steps on how to reconcile a bank account in Sage 50? Right now, we'll go back to Sage 50 and we'll be using our Mira Global Services Limited case study to look at the steps to reconcile a bank account in Sage 50. Let's say you have a bank account in Sage 50 that tracks payment and receipt. For example, from the business status section, you find out that under account balances, we have First Bank here. So let's say you have a bank account. It can be First Bank, it can be any bank in your country that your company operates with. So how do you reconcile these accounts? To do this, you have to first of all open the bank reconciliation window. You will find it by going to your tax menu at the top. Click on that option, tax. Scroll down and look for account reconciliation. So if you come below, you will see it. It comes before void checks, account reconciliation. So you select it. Then it brings up the account reconciliation window, which I'm sure you can see here. So on this window, the first thing you have to do is to select the bank accounts you wish to reconcile. It can be any bank account. It can be any bank account. So to do that, you're going to look over here. We have account to reconcile. So inside this field, you will click on the glass icon and select the account. So we said First Bank, so select the First Bank account. Once you have done this, what do you wish to reconcile? Do you want everything or just deposit only? If it's all, select all, deposits, credits, everything. Okay, you can just select them this way. Okay, so once you're done with this, the next thing you're going to do is to enter the statement date. So you come to your statement date here in this window. Ensure that it's the same closing date with the bank statement, actual bank statement you have with you. So let's assume that I am fixing this up to September 30th. Okay, and I click yes. So if I'm doing this, that means this is the actual date I have. Or maybe I can say December 31st. So let's assume that this is the actual date I have for my transactions. So you enter your statement date here. You select the actual accounts you wish to reconcile. You indicate all, then you come down. So this is what you have to do because when you enter the dates from your bank statement, it ensures you're working with the most up-to-date information from your bank. Now, once this has been done, you have to also come down and enter the statement ending balance. The statement ending balance. You have to come over here and enter it. So let's say the statement ending balance is 136,500 or 136,500,000. So it's important you also get this done. All right. So once you've entered it, 136,500 or 136,500,000, you then move to the next step, which is where you match your transactions. Now, Sage 50 will display the list of transactions recorded in the Sage system over here. You can see the list of transactions. So all these are transactions recorded all through the period you have specified. So that means from January down to December, these are all transactions. So Sage will display it. You then have a job to do. What is your job? Your job is to check all of these transactions against the transactions in your bank statement. So when you check a transaction like deposit tickets of 1 million and you find it in your actual bank statement, what do you do to it? You tick off each transaction, deposit, check, transfers, those transactions that matches the bank's record. For example, we are going to match these deposit tickets. So let's say this deposit ticket was issued maybe for a hotel booking through Giant Travel Tours Limited. And I'm seeing it here and it's also on the bank statement, actual bank statement. What do? I'll come and tick. So the process of ticking it is the process of matching. Now I want you to take note of something closely. If you come down here, you realize that we entered our statement ending balance as 136,500. Okay, meaning that in our bank statement, we have 136,500,000. And when you look closely, you find out that the moment we entered it, there is this part here, unreconciled balance, telling us that this balance have not been reconciled. That's what we want to reconcile. So in reconciling this, our goal is to ensure that by the end of whatever we are doing here, this unreconciled difference should change to 0, letting us know that yes, we have reconciled. I hope you understand. So where you have matched every line transactions. You compare it with your actual bank statement and you find out that the unreconciled difference is still showing you a particular amount of money. That becomes a discrepancy, because before you can have an outstanding balance there, it could be that you happen to see some unmatched transactions. And this happens a lot of times, especially when you have maybe a bank fee you missed recording in Sage 50, a bank charges. It could even be customers' payment, because we are all humans. And there are times where you might be very busy and occupied that, stressed out that you forget to capture some transactions. Could be there's this customer who was owing and paid on a particular day, and she forwarded a receipt, although you forgot that you have not actually entered it into Sage 50. So you see, reconciliation helps you. You'll find out that there are some transactions in your bank statement that you have not matched, that's unmatched over here in Sage 50. So the unreconciled difference tells you and gives you that guide. Okay, so let's now go and match, and let's take a close eye on that. So therefore, we'll say we are matching up this deposit ticket. So that's how you do it. You tick on it. Now, if you notice closely, you'll find out that at every point where we tick, the unreconciled difference reduces. There's a decrease. It was, if we remove this tick, if we unmatch it, it's 136,500,000. But the moment we tick on it, it becomes 135. So that's what should happen. If it's not happening that way to you, then know something is wrong in your Sage. That's why I gave you a good guide. Begin by selecting which account do you want to reconcile here. This is where you select the accounts. Once you've done that, show. If you don't change this show, if you have only deposit, it will only display all the deposit for you. I hope you understand this. So we want it to show us everything. So we have to come here and then click on all. Okay, then like I said, also get your statement date to also be imputed here. And I told you that when you enter it, it ensures you're working with the most up-to-date information with your bank. So do same with your statement ending balance, which you also have to enter here. This is the method, this is the standard, how it's done. So once you have done this, we are going to match orders. So we say, okay, this payment on invoice with 002 reference is on the bank statement. So we'll keep ticking on the match, and that's how we keep going. All right. So that's how we keep going closely on this. All right. So when we get here, we are matching them. So when we get here, we'll find out that we are now left with 1,500,000. So what do you notice? Ignore this one. This one of 120, I think that should be an error in our posting. This 120, 120, you can see cancels out the 120, 120. So that should be an error in our posting. So now that we have matched the exact transactions, you realize what? That our unreconciled difference is now 0. Can you see it? So if we have added this, what that means is that there is a discrepancy somewhere of 120 million. So it's now left for you to now go back to your system to check it. So after you have opened your bank reconciliation, so after you've opened your bank reconciliation, the next thing, like I said, is for you to enter your statement date and balance. Once you have done that, match transactions. Once you have matched your transactions, the next thing you have to do after matching it like this is for you to then identify discrepancies. So if you see any unmatched transactions like we have here, you have to now go to your Sage 50, conduct an investigation to find out why are we having it there. Okay, so once you're done with this, the next thing you have to do is to complete your reconciliation. Once all your transactions match, Sage 50 will tell you that your reconciliation is complete. Okay, that's it. And you can see it, unreconciled difference is 0. 0. So what that means is we are good to go. Unlike when it was unmatched, you can see a colon. So it's 0. So what we are now going to do is to then proceed. So ignore this other 2. Like I said, it's an error from our posting. So once you're done with this, you then go up and click on OK. All right. So once you have done this, you have just conducted your account reconciliation. So what are the benefits of this exercise? The first benefit is that it gives you an accurate snapshot of your company's financial position at any given time. It eliminates any surprises. For example, surprises like missing funds or unrecorded payments, just as we have said. And it doesn't end there. You need a report to also guide you on this. So if you go to your reports menu, scroll down, you'll see account reconciliation. Click on it. So once you click on it, you'll see the first report there is account reconciliation. So you have to open it. When you open it, you'll now be able to view your account reconciliation done. Okay, and you will see everything here. So don't forget to come to options so you can be able to actually change this maybe from current period to a particular period and all of that. So you can say, okay, I need a summary of this and all of that. So you can see summary of everything. So if there is unreconciled difference, again, like I told you, you have to go to your system to look for where that error might be coming out from. So this brings us to the end of part 1 on reconciliation, how we reconcile a bank account in Sage 50. So thank you. See you in part 2, which is on managing cash flow and bank transactions.